G'day, this is Gary007 and welcome to my channel. So, Avorion 2.0, a crew improvements and faction areas. So they've made a few changes, they've leaked a little bit more news on this area. I'm really excited about these changes. These changes have been needed for a long time, I think. The quality of life improvement is going to go a long way, so I'm really excited that they've gone in this direction. So let's start with crew improvements. They've changed the UI. The UI looks awesome. But the biggest change is the way crew is handled in 2.0 now, and this is a change that I'm excited about because this one has been a quality of life improvement that's really needed in the game. So the basic nuts and bolts of it is that they've changed the number of crew that you need, and they changed the way sergeant and lieutenants and generals and commanders work. So basically what they've done is they've halved the amount of crew that you need. It's going to cost you twice as much to run the crew, and your crew will now promote high-ranking officers to rank. So as you add more crew, what will happen is they will promote within your ship, and they'll promote a sergeant, a lieutenant, commander, and a general to run your ship, so on and so forth. This is really awesome. When you really think about it, it is really awesome, because the amount of times that you have to fly around stations trying to look for these particular generals or these high-ranking officers can sometimes be a hit and miss when it comes to certain stations or where you are in the galaxy, right? So it can be fidgety trying to look for these particular high-ranking officers, because you've got to find a sergeant, lieutenants, commanders and generals for your ship, and it could take a while. It's not so much filling out your ship. Filling out your ship can be a bit of an issue, I mean, when you build big ships, but this is really good. So basically half the crew, you can promotes within automatically. It's going to cost you twice as much as before, and they've changed the morale system. So the morale system is basically this: you can get out the whip and whip them and basically drive their morale down to 0, and they won't leave a ship. They'll put tools down and they'll get unionized, and they won't do anything until you pay them or have better working conditions, like adding more crew or whatever it is. So your crew won't leave you, but they just won't do anything once it gets to 0. Is this a good change? Yes, because the times that I've played the game and I've had a ship and I've sat there and built a new ship and I've needed a lot of crew, like 1,000 crew for that ship. It takes time to drive around looking for sergeants and lieutenants, commanders and general. Now, I know in game there are crew transporter ships, right? So there are crew transporter ships for anything over 300 crew. Don't quote me on that. I'm just winging it here on that figure. I think it was like 300 crew. Anything over 300 crew, you could order a transporter ship in, but you have to wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something before that happens, right? The transporter ship is really good for a really big ship, but what happens if your ship is like 150, you know? What happens if it needs 150 crew, right? So that is a really big improvement for those sort of mid-tier ships and also large-tier ships, because you're not running around looking for these specialty officers, these high-ranking officers anymore. Your crew can promote within, and you can fill in the basic blanks in between. This is really, really awesome. I like it. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are, but this is really awesome. I like doing crew improvements. I think it is a big thing. Now, the next big topic that we got is faction areas. Now, what they've done is it looks really awesome. They've color-coded it. It looks really cool. So basically what they've done is, as you go further into the center of that faction, it's going to be more condensed, more populated, more web gates for you to travel through. So you can do a lot more trading, building, turrets. You can be building your ship, proving relations with that particular faction. So it's really awesome that the way they've done that. And the further you go out from that faction, there's going to be less web gates, there's going to be less security. So it's going to be more like the Wild West. There's going to be a lot more frequent pirate attacks. But as you get further into that faction, there's going to be less pirate attacks, less action. So that's good. There are times when I want to be in the thick of things, like fighting pirates, and there's other times when I just want to be left alone to do some trading, building my ship. Could be other things like building turrets. There are other times when I just don't want to be bothered by pirates, you know. So having a sort of defined boundary around that is really good, and I actually like the direction they're going with factions with this. I mean, it makes sense. The more densely populated a faction is, the further you get into it, the more stations you're going to come across, the more opportunities for Tyrant factories and all the rest of it. So it really is a good change. So it's really, really awesome. And one of the best things about it is the improved faction areas are compatible with existing saves. So it doesn't matter if you're not playing Avorion 2.0. It's going to be compatible with existing saves, these faction improvements. So thumbs up, love it. I love how they've done this, and I am really looking forward to these changes. They're quality of life improvements and really bring the Galaxy to life. So that's really awesome. So if you like this sort of content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a thumbs up, and leave a comment below about your thoughts on Avorion 2.0. Alright then, see ya, bye.